back.
Okay. There's me, there's you. We'll just wait for the others.
And
There we go. And I am recording this. I remember to record the second half today. Okay. Oh yeah, the law. So one summer when I was on the coast in Victoria, I had driven there from Saskatoon, and now I was driving home. I was driving back to Saskatoon. And I had decided that if I got a speeding ticket out of province, I wasn't going to pay it.
oh,
I just decided that. I just decided I wasn't going to pay it. Now, I was about 20, I'm guessing. I might not make that same choice now, but then that was the choice I had made. So I'm driving home, and I'm on the Coquihalla, which is the big highway in BC, and I get a speeding ticket, which is fine because I take it, I throw it on the seat, I go on my way. I'm not concerned. I'm not paying it. 30 minutes later, I get another speeding ticket.
oh, really? Holy snow.
I hide the first one. No, just wait, it gets better. I hide the first one. I get the second one. Thank you, officer. See you later. Carry on my way, speeding along like a demon, because I just don't care, because I'm not paying them. I'm not from that province in my head. I know, crazy. This is another level of insanity to creating your magic. And I don't recommend that you follow my example. I'm just saying this is what happened. So I get home to Saskatoon with my 2 speeding tickets, and I don't pay them. I literally just throw them away. And so in a couple months' time, or whatever long it takes, you get the letter, you know? And my letter says that the tickets are made out to Ray instead of Faye. They got my name wrong. So because they spelled my name wrong, it's not me. So I'm not liable.
Oh my God.
I know! What are the chances, right? 2 tickets.
Both?
Both. Ray. And so I never paid them because it wasn't me. It was this mysterious Ray person. But oh my God, that was, I had chosen, and I mean, I literally had chosen not to pay them. I was very clear about that with myself and the universe, apparently. So
That's a good one.
it's great, isn't it? Some people, like I said, some people will judge me harshly, but God loved 20-year-olds and the craziness that they can create. I probably don't have the gumption to do that now. I really don't. I'd pay it if it was right now. But I mean, that is a brilliant magic that happened there. Like, I mean, brilliant. And you can go into all the morals and the judgments and the whole bit that you want to and say, I didn't deserve it, or I deserve to be punished or sent to jail or whatever. It doesn't matter. Those are your issues. Those are other people's issues. I chose to create something and I created it. And if you go at life with that with that conscious choosing, like relentless choosing, no matter what logic you're faced with, you can defy odds that make no sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. You can get away with murder. No, I haven't done that, Just for the record.
Yeah, that's something that I would not try.
No, me neither. I don't recommend it. But you could. You could if you chose to get away with it.
Very true.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, this is the fun of it, that, you have to admit there's a level of insanity thinking that you can get away without paying a speeding ticket or two.
You didn't just do it once. You did it twice.
No, I really didn't care.
Yeah.
And I go back into my
And those are the things that we. Well, it's all those little or big magic that we create that we discount. Oh, that was a coincidence or whatever. And when we don't acknowledge it, we keep on shutting that off and shutting it off and shutting it off until
and
we leave ourselves without choices.
Yeah, and you don't trust
Seemingly.
yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What people used to say about me all the time is that I was lucky, that I had horseshoes up my ass, that I was the golden child. These are things that people used to comment about me all the time. And in my younger years there, I was like that about everything. And that's why I'm loving that I am writing about some of those things, because it's bringing that back. And I got judged pretty harshly for being wrong, for being that way. Because I could really make it seem like the rules didn't apply to me in many, many ways. And people don't like that. They like the rules to be followed and for it to be fair for everyone. And I never set out my creations to hurt anyone, and my creations didn't hurt anyone. But people who are going for it's fair, it's not fair that you're not willing to create at the level I'm willing to create. And you expect me to not create at the level I can create so it can be fair? Screw that. That is sort of my view, or of that. If you can't keep up to me, that's your problem.
There you go.
Yeah. And
well, and I think sometimes I think sometimes too what I'm aware of as you're talking with myself is where I've stopped doing those things or created shit to appear normal.
Yeah. Normal is paying your speeding.
Right?
It's
Yeah.
true.
Normal is following government policy.
Yeah.
Accepting it. Like, that can't do anything about that, or it'll take a long time. That's normal.
Yeah.
Normal's not very much fun. Because, frankly, I can tell you from experience, that doing those things and having those things show up, like your letter showing up and it's a completely different name, that's a lot of
Yeah.
fun. Like, I mean, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Very true.
It's delightful. You know? And it and it never shows up the way you think it will. Ever. Like, I never thought about how I might become a communicator. I just knew I was going to become one. I never thought about how I was going to get out of those speeding tickets. I just knew I wasn't going to pay them. The how should never be part of your thought process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's just the what.
And usually that's what stops you.
Yes, because you don't know how.
And usually that's what, yeah. And so you kind of start doing this instead of continuing to move forward or create.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
how often as a kid did you have this grand scheme and someone said, and how are you going to do that? And you were like, oh, and you stopped. Or you went, I don't know, and you did it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you can just start picking out the main things in your life, some of the bigger moments, some of the more defining moments of your life, and first of all, okay, that just wasn't luck. That wasn't, a divine blessing from the heavens. Although it feels like that, then that's okay. But for you to realize that it was because of you, that you created it, that it all came together.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then you can go to that place of I'm just going to you can go to that place of, wow, if I created that magic, then what the heck am I creating over here? Because, let's actually take a look at it. Because when you actually take a look at the thing you're creating that you don't want, you have the power to change it or to see it in a new light or to have some awareness that you're totally blind to. And you're also acknowledging that there is possibility for it to change. And dang it, universe, it's going to change. This is changing. This is getting better. And you don't have to know how. You just have to make that choice. This is changing. This is not going to be like this anymore. This is getting better. That's it. And go about your day. And it doesn't matter if it's the same the next day, because it's changing. And it's not going to be like this forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's the letting go. It's difficult though. It's there. That's it. Forget about it and keep going. That's what it is.
I know, because we're convinced we have to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's way more fun to let the universe do all the how and then let it surprise you. It's like, ooh, that was cool. Because usually when you let it be easy like that, when you just let it unfold, it shows up in a way, like I said, in a way that you can't even frickin' imagine. And it shows up in a way that is so much more brilliant than you could have created on your own. Even though you're creating it, the universe is doing all of the logistics of it. And and you know, it has an infinite sort of resource pool to choose from. So it knows stuff that you don't know, and it just makes things happen for you in ways that you don't even realize. Now, I had this crazy awareness today about how when I was in the military, there was this guy, a friend of mine, who was a cook, and he didn't want to be a cook in the military. He wanted to be a diver. And so you have to change trades, and it's a whole system, and your home unit has to sign off on it for, you know, and his home unit wanted him to be a cook. They didn't want a diver in their unit. They wanted a cook in their unit. So they said no. And so he was going to quit the military because he couldn't be what he wanted to be. And of course, in my mind, I was like, that's stupid. Because that's how I thought when I was 20. Stupid things just shouldn't happen. And I had a boss that I worked for a couple of years who had just been transferred to the headquarters. And I phoned him. So I phoned him from Victoria. There's my friend sitting beside me. I said, this is stupid. We can change this. And he's like, Faye, we can't change it. I'm like, I'll phone this chief that I know. And so I phoned this chief that I know, and I asked him for a favor, and he granted it. He broke all sorts of rules, and he loaded this guy, my friend, on the next diver course. He literally just put him in a new trade and didn't tell him anybody. He just did it for me because I asked him to. And it was at a time when they were talking about, in the military, about retention and getting more people in and stuff. And I basically just said to him, you know, Chief, he's quitting. He's a good guy. He's a very, very good military member. It would be a shame to lose him, but he's gone because they want him to be a cook, and he doesn't want to be one. So here, this is the thing. And so he did it. So my friend goes on his diver course, becomes a diver, changes the trade badge and everything. He gets back to his home unit. They knew nothing about it, and they were a little upset. But by that time, it was too late. They couldn't do anything about it. Now, my chief, who broke the rules, just pleaded ignorance. He said, oh, I'm new in the job. I didn't realize that I needed to go through the unit. And he just played dumb. And it didn't hurt him, and it didn't hurt his career or anything. It was just one of those things that he went through. I'm very glad that he did. And then, so that fellow became a diver, and then he joined the Rig Force, and he became a special service member, and he's done all these crazy, wild things in the military, in special forces and things like that. Now, here, I thought I was just helping him out because I could, but I realized today, no, he created that. He so was choosing to be a diver that the universe found the way for that to happen, which blew his mind because he still talks about how he can't believe that happened. And that's how the universe uses us, you know. But it's not using us. It's like, who's wanting to participate? Who's wanting to play in the game of creation? And I was there, and I could do it. And it was like literally in my head, it was just, this has to be done. This is what I have to do. And I wasn't thinking, I want to do this for my friend, or I want him to pay me back, or I want to do it because I like him. None of that. It was just, this is what needs to be done. And I had the awareness today that this was his creation. It wasn't mine. I just played my part. And so we and I'm wonder if he even realizes that was part of his creation. I'm guessing he doesn't, and it doesn't matter. Except, how many times have you created something and then decided it was all because of someone else? And yes, I'm not saying don't be grateful for their playing in your creation, but know that it's still your creation, that you called in them to play the part they needed to play in order for whatever to happen that needed to happen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I've had that in my life where all of a sudden the right person walks in the door. Or you know, think about, have you ever been in a new city, and you get lost and you decide, I have to get to this place and I don't know where it is, and you stop the one person who like gives you a ride to the door or gives you exactly what you need? You know, that's because you chose to no longer be lost. You created you finding the place. But when you get in a frenzy and you're like, I'm so lost, what do I do? I'm so lost, and you keep creating you being lost, you don't find any help. You're left all on your own, you know, whatever. Still your creation. But you have that power to change things around. And the person you need will just all of a sudden, boom, appear out of nowhere and be the little earth angel that in the spiritual metaphysical community, they often call them earth angels, you know, and to be that earth angel to come in and be that liaison, be that whatever's needed to keep the creation moving in the direction it needs to go. And so this is what I mean about the power of really acknowledging that you are creating it all. Because when you realize that, oh my God, I have, like, the universe is going to give me everything I require to make this happen. I don't have to do anything except be present, pay attention. That's it. And it'll be so freaking obvious what you have to do that you won't miss the cue. You know?
You just get to choose it.
Yeah, you just have to choose it. This is like my favorite subject in the whole world. Creation. It fascinates me because it really is what magic is. It really is what makes miracles. And all it is, I mean, we make it to be this like otherworldly, out of, you know, sort of out of this world stuff, but really all it is us exercising choice. Yeah. Fervently exercising choice. And when you come up to a choice where there is no other possibility that this is it, that is it. That is what you're going to get. And it doesn't matter what it is. I got a fully built home, completely landscaped, in the exact right spot, to my specifications, in the price range that I could work with. And please do not for a second think I am any more magical than you. Or think it, I don't care, that would be great. but it's not true. You know, every single one of us is that magical. But if for any reason I seem like I'm pulling off more magic than someone else, it's only because I'm choosing with more clarity and more confidence. That's it. And so when you look at the people who seemingly have everything going on in their life, that everything just goes their way, notice how they're choosing with confidence and clarity and not getting blindsided and distracted by this, that, the other thing, or making things issues that don't need to be. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then it becomes simpler, and it can be a lot more fun. And yeah, I remember I'll tell you another story. In, I don't know when it was a while ago, 2008 or something like that. I think it's around 2008. I went to the Unleash the Power Within conference. It's a Tony Robbins event. Okay, I went and saw Tony Robbins. And before I went, I remember looking on his website, and there was this woman, the picture of this woman and him, and he was holding up her hand, like you know when they announce the champion of a boxing fight or something, and they grab your hand and they put it up. He was holding her hand up like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember just staring at that picture and knowing that something had happened, that something really important or transformational had happened for her. And I remember just staring at that picture going, wow, that's really neat. And just sitting in that energy. And then, like, I was at work. I was still working at the university when this was going on. And then, you go back to work or whatever, right? And so then whatever, a month or two passes, and I go to the event. And on day 3 of the event, he's asking questions, and people are putting up their hand in the audience. And I was right in it, and I was like putting up my hand to these questions he was asking, and he picked on me. He picked me. And I got the microphone in my hand, and he's asking me questions, and he asks me up on stage, and he works with me. And at the end of it all, when I had my little transformational moment with Tony Robbins, he grabs my hand and he puts it up just like that girl in the picture. And I went, like, in that second, I went, holy crap. I just... And literally, I had stared at that picture and thought about that picture for maybe a minute and a half tops. That's it. But somewhere within me, I had chosen to experience what she had experienced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I knew it. The moment he put I had no idea it was going on until he grabbed my hand and put it up, and I went, oh, I created this. It was like I just knew.
Yeah.
And my mind was like blown, Yeah. And there's lots of little things in my life where literally the creation took about a minute, and then I forgot about it, and then it shows up. And so creation doesn't require years of study and research and struggle and petitioning people and, unless that's what's required.
Or unless that's what we choose.
Yeah, and that if you decide that's how it has to happen, then that's how it's going to have to happen. But when you keep how out of it, it'll show up in some crazy way that's way better than you could imagine, and it'll be way easier. Trust me. Yeah. And so I also want you to think about those moments in your life where it literally was like that, where it just showed up, something showed up and it was great, and you didn't think that you had put any thought into it. But when you really pay attention, you realize you might have put a minute of being in that and wishing that for yourself and choosing that for yourself. And then that's all it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, right? Like, like it's so much fun to make your dreams a reality, and yet you don't actually make them a reality. The universe will do all the legwork. All you have to do is sit in your choice and be bullheaded about it. Like, you know, like I was about not paying the speeding tickets. Just choose it. Just choose and be unwavering and unforgiving in your choice. You know, it's just like no justification, no distraction, no moral right or wrong. It's just, this is my choice. End of story. And then the story will show itself to you. Yeah. So much fun.
Not sharing it with people that won't support you.
Yeah.
Then just, throw all the poop at it.
Right. Now, if you are going to be a sharer, if you are going to share your ideas and what you're creating with other people, you have to be willing to not give a damn what they think about it. Because it doesn't matter. What they think is not an issue. Just like government policy is not an issue. Just like the law is not an issue. So what you think is not an issue. So if I say, oh, I'm doing this thing, and you go, yeah, whatever, you can't do that. Good luck with that. You're like, thanks. And then, it's just whatever, but I'm doing this,
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's your speeding ticket. Thank you. And then throw it away. Here's your opinion. Thank you. And then throw it away. Universe, this is not part of the creation. Goodbye. Just like for me, universe, this police officer is not part of my equation. Goodbye. This piece of paper is not part of my equation. Goodbye. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Faye.
Well, thank you. Like I said, you can tell I'm a little animated. Because I love this subject. This is my favoriteest subject of all time. So, yeah, that and travel. If I could travel talking about this subject, my life is heaven. And I'll choose that. That's what I'm choosing. I'm going to travel and talk about this subject.
Faye?
Yeah.
Are you there? Yeah. This weekend you'll be in Saskatoon at the exhibition ground, I guess. You're gonna make some magic there.
I'm gonna make some magic at the Saskatoon Body, Soul, and Spirit Expo. I'll be there all weekend. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to come see, excellent. I'll see you then. But I'm gonna call it a night, and I can't wait.
Okay.
If you let me know about your creations. I'd love to hear. It would be fun to see where you take this and how you use it. And remember, it's fun. It's not work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Faye.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Love you.
Bye.